it has to be addressed by you guys because of presbytery. It just has to be. Okay, so that's one. What else do you see? What other? Okay. So let's go to what other surprises or themes do you recognize? What other surprises or things you notice that could become themes for us to look at? Ongoing. What we're trying to look for is themes for inquiry, topics for further inquiry that could lead to shared images. So one of the further inquiry pieces is economic viability. And Greg's got a good handle on some of the nuts and bolts of that, and we're all acknowledging that no matter what you do or talk to the congregation or wherever we go, that's going to be part of it. What are some of the other ones? I've also heard this one of this work relationship service theme is one that comes up. Can I put that here? Is this a clear piece? Because I actually think that partly tying work and relationship. Let me change it from service. Let me just put it this way. Let's tie service and relationship together. Let's try to do it this way, because then we become a code for this. This notion that relationship happens in the midst of serving, as part of the code of who we are, will be one of the themes that you'll explore. And it will drive some of the conversation you'll be having. Can you think of a couple ways that would happen immediately? Can you think of some ways that would be?
Well, just in the children's ministry right there. I mean, Susan's working with a team, and she's got a lot of energy for it. She's giving out energy for it, and they're working together.
Yeah.
And they're building relationships in the middle of that.
And so partly when you start thinking of a children's ministry, even if we come back and say, part of our mission and our purpose may or may not. Let's say there's a number of people who talked about children. So let's say something about this church is going to be about children or families. We're going to do the best children's ministry to us is not going to look like Saddleback's. And that we mean that by best.
Thank goodness.
Let's put it this way. It's our preference. It's who we are. It really is. We really believe that quality is not necessarily tied to big. It could be a different kind of best. I'll give just one example of stuff we're working on here. Chap Clark at Fuller has done this thing with youth ministry where he's tried to change the equation. He said that for years youth ministry is built around you need one leader for every 5 kids. You need one leader for every 5 kids. If you don't have at least one leader for every 5 kids, you are not going to have a healthy youth ministry. Chap Clark goes, no, we got it completely wrong. We need 5 adults for every kid. We live in a day where kids do not have enough adult input. You need 5 adults for every kid. So what we're working on is what we're calling the posse. Parents and 3 other adults. By the time a kid goes into 7th grade, every kid knows they have 5 people by name who are committed to pray for them all the way through their high school graduation. That when they graduate from high school, 5 people will put their hands upon them and pray for them as they send them off into adulthood. That they will have their parents and 3 other adults who will say that for the next 6 years, I will pray for you, I will send you birthday cards, I will be there for you. When your parents don't get it, you'll have 5 people and everybody will know. Our goal is that within a year, every 7th grader will be able to hold up their hand and be able to say, here are my 5. Now that, I believe, is really different than a youth ministry that says, we're going to have the biggest thing possible. We're willing to rearrange everything to try to make that vision happen, because I think that's what kids need. So if you ask me what's the best possible youth group, I think the best possible youth group is a youth group that has lots of adults in it.
And males.
What?
And male adults.
Exactly. The whole thing. Now that's not an easy vision.
No.
That's not an easy thing to do at all. But we've been working that thing through and saying, if we really believe that's what kids need, if that's what the data looks at and stuff, how do we become a church that provides that for us? And that's part of the piece that as you start thinking about that, something like that absolutely fits your DNA. We're deeply relational, we work together, we're highly committed, so what do you get in our church youth group? You get a youth group where you got lots of adults. And we want, we got to come up with different images. And this is what the part that you get to. We're not going to get to today. What I want you to think about is imagery. Imagery that says we have a posse for our youth. Or that we are a community where everybody's